Hi guys, let's go with another tactic series. Hmm. Here is checkmate. One option I see is check with the rook takes, then take the f pawn. But unfortunately, I will be mated at the back rank, so there is no silent move. This is good to know. So let's drop the first check. And then where is the second check, with the rook or with the queen? Most likely with the rook. And the third check with the pawn. Yeah, I should be with the pawn. And fourth check with the queen. This was easy in a sense that you know that in the back rank is weak and you should just deliver checks. Let's go to analysis quickly. You should just deliver check. First check is obvious. There is no other option. If you check with the rook, then basically there is no second check. And then after rook check, you have two possible pawn checks, h pawn and f pawn. And the point is that f pawn check closes your rook, your queen's returning pass. So h pawn is intuitively better. Also, another option is that if you talk about f pawn, king goes to g5 if you want to calculate. Then the only check you have after that is to take the g pawn, but this is not good because the rook, white rook, can join the defense. Additionally, f pawn can be captured by white's queen. So it was easy to see that this is the f pawn that should be pushed, and then where is the next check with the queen? Let's go to the next one. Checkmate again. If we check at c4 goes to only a square b6. At b6, I'm pretty sure I should check with the rook if c4 was correct. I should check with the rook because I should take the king out. But b6 rook check, then the only place that king can go is a5. Then what can I do at a5? I don't have any decent check. Do I have? I have. I have check with the queen at c7. But that's not a decent check, is it? No, check with the queen at c7, and this check can be answered by pawn b6 or king a4 or king b4. And I cannot activate my rook to join the check ceremony. If king goes to the fourth rank, rook cannot deliver any check because queen takes care of d4 square, black queen takes care of d4 square, and of course I cannot take the b pawn with the rook. I don't have anything. Another option is that just to rely on discovery check, just say check at d7, rook d2, and then say check with the queen, and say that's it, that's all I can do. Right, rook d2 check, king goes to b file most likely, right? Because if it doesn't go to b file, we can push it to the b file. Let's say king goes to b6, then we grab the queen. b6 is very good because we grab the queen, and then once he takes back with the rook, we say check at the d4 and grab the rook. And still is not very good, you know? It's not super interesting because still black is doing well. Black has a whole lot of pawns, Even if I capture rook and queen and give up only my rook, I'm up. Apparently, I'm up material, but in fact, I'm not up anything because rook and bishop together with that many pawns are unstoppable. No, I cannot do anything with a single queen against that many things. Okay, so discovery check is an option then. Where to deliver the discovery check? Even maybe rook d4 is an option. Rook d4, suppose easy case, king goes to b4. No. So once more, let try rook d2. Rook d2, king goes to b5. And then I can even grab the rook. So let's see what happens. Okay, I knew that this is not the right move. What was it? There was a mate. Wow, it's a mate. This is a checkmate. This is a check. This is a knight. No, not knight there. If I grab his bishop. No, knight in. He takes my... Okay, if I say check with the bishop, right? And then deliver mate here. The point was that the back rank was very good for checking and mating. Another point was that I couldn't do anything without check because he was going to capture all my knights with check after check with queen. So I couldn't risk anything. So what is the good check to help me to go to the back rank? Bishop check. I attack the rook. I attack the rook. No, it's the what I'm thinking about is to place knight d6 and then the rook e8 and somehow deliver mate. Right? It's very similar to Arabian mate situation, but it's not exactly that. But it's more similar to back rank mate. If I have the pawn on f6, knight on d6, and I could put my rook on e8, this is kind of a back rank mate. We solve some puzzles and make one mistake and then go back to our initial position. That's funny or not funny, I don't know. So what to do then? What is weak? What else is weak? But the problem with knight d6 is that he simply plays rook d7 and attacks my knight. I don't know what to do then. I can of course push the pawn to the knight. He captures my knight. And then what to do then? Then knight f5 with the plan of it's very slow. No, it's very slow. If I grab his knight, this is very bad because he takes back with the rook and I have nothing to do against it. Yeah, okay, one may say that I can play rook d2 Preparing for discovery against its knight. But what a discovery. Giving up my knight for its knight. Can I save that knight? Okay. I can do something else. I can grab the c pawn. And if he takes with the knight, I attack his rook. No, it's not good. Oh, I can attack his rook. Right, this was good. I can attack his rook. If his rook plays d7, I push the pawn. If it takes my knight, I take his knight with check. Okay. Oh, I didn't see that. Why I didn't see that earlier. I take this with check, and then I win the other knight as well. Here, clearly, we can deliver one check at the e3 with the bishop, or at b6 and a7 with the queen. But what's the goal of such a check? Okay, I'm thinking, yeah, we have such a check, but our rook is under attack. So let's first take his bishop, because once I take his bishop, he cannot grab my rook back, because, yeah, you know, if he takes back my rook, then I have the discovery check with bishop, and I win his rook. Let's do it. Oh, it's not with bishop. If I discovery check with bishop, wow, I was lucky so far. If I make a discovery check, he just captures it with the queen. So I can do it this way. Take that pawn, take the queen, or I don't need to take the queen, I can take the rook. Oh, my opinion during running the puzzle changed quite a lot. So let me tell you this last puzzle what happened, and I was wrong at the start, then I found it. At the start I saw that once I take this, he takes this, I say check, and he goes around and I will mate. But of course it doesn't go around, it just takes my bishop. Luckily our first move was correct, we grabbed this, and then I said okay, let's say check here. And this again deflects the king from defending the rook. If king goes up, then we win the rook and mate. If queen takes first, again I saw that okay, no, I can grab the queen with check, and then once it takes, I take the rook. But then I counted the pieces, I have no advantage. Then say this is a easy puzzle rush pattern, right? Why we shouldn't grab the rook first and then take on the free queen? Of course I couldn't see all the things at the start. If I wasn't lucky, I wouldn't be able to see everything here. See you next time.